Hello, hello. What's up, everyone? I was going to do a stream where I create a VR chat avatar, and I still plan on doing that. But then I saw MKBHD released a video where he is the first person officially who got to use Google and Samsung's new mixed reality headset. Um, and I started watching it on my own and immediately had thoughts and stuff I wanted to say, and I was like, I gotta stream this. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna make sure the stream is working and that the audio is all good, and I will start watching it. All right. Hello, hello. Test, test. Okay. Seems to be working good. And also, this is the first time I am trying multi-streaming. I don't know if it's working. Let me check. I hope it is. Um, maybe? No, it looks like it ended. I'm so confused. Wait. No, it says it's working. Um. Hmm. Give me a second, chat. I gotta figure out why it's not, Cause like the video's there, it's not letting me play it. That might just be a problem on my end, though. Maybe. That might just be a problem on my end, though. Hmm. Close that. I'm gonna refresh. So that might be the problem. Why is it not? Let me try. Let me try to play it on my computer, because it's not working on my phone, so. I'm very hyped for this video. Live. Okay. Test, test, test. Live. Okay, it works on desktop. Okay. Here we go. I'm very hyped.
So Samsung has just recently started teasing this unreleased prototype VR headset called Project Muhan, and they haven't actually let anyone outside of the company show it to the public yet.
Yeah, but we did get like leaks
Until
and
now.
stuff.
So welcome to your exclusive first look and early impressions of the very collaborative Samsung
I like the way it
and
looks.
Google
It looks a lot better
headset
than
that looks a
the
lot
Vision
like
Pro.
a Vision Pro. I actually want to take a step back real quick though, because this isn't just a Vision Pro lookalike. This is potentially a huge step towards fixing the fragmentation in the world of VR and mixed reality headsets right now. Because right now there's Vision Pro obviously running Apple's Vision OS. There's the Meta Quest running Horizon OS. And those major ones will probably keep running those. But then there's the world of all the other headsets out there. And we just saw CES. There's a lot of other headsets around just popping up left and
Spooky,
right.
I never blocked you.
And what software should
So
they
that's
run?
kinda random.
So this is the first AndroidXR headset. So it's a pretty deep collaboration between Google and
Okay, but the thing about this, Marquez is saying that the headset is like, that the Android XR is going to be the standard, but it's not the first headset to do it because one, it's not even out yet. It's still not even an official headset. It's just a project. Like Horizon OS they already announced that that's going to be the standard. Like they're going to open that up, and other headsets will be able to use that. So I don't know why he's glazing Google here. Like they're trying to copy Meta. Android XR is not the first to do this because
Samsung.
it's not even a
Think
released
of it
product yet.
as like the Nexus or Pixel, but for headsets. It's a huge baseline amount of software. It's an OS with tons of features that give it a really high baseline for functionality, and then some example
That's
hardware
cool.
to show it all off on. Now, again,
That is the thing though. Meta's development is so slow because, I mean, they had a good plan and they were going to do so many groundbreaking things, and then they canceled all of it because they're trying to be like Google and Apple now. So they've been really slow with their development. But Android XR looks like it'll be much more usable. So I don't know, I'm worried. I wish they could have partnered because I don't want it to be split and I don't want one to beat the other. I just wish I don't know. We'll have to see. I have no idea how it'll go. Um, Meta would probably have to make a lot of changes to Horizon OS to make it more customizable and stuff for other companies. But I know we're already getting a an ROG headset running Horizon OS. We're getting a Lenovo headset and a Microsoft headset, an Xbox headset, all running Horizon OS. So we'll have to see if those still come out, and we'll have to see if Android XR. I don't know. I feel like it might be. I don't know which one's better. I got to use it first.
and this is technically an unfinished prototype that they're showing me, so it could still have a few tweaks and things that they
But
changed
like
before the end.
having circle
But
to search and
Samsung
other
has
stuff
also
built
made
in,
it
like I don't
very
know, it looks
clear
really
that
cool.
it's intending on shipping it this year. So I feel pretty good about evaluating what they've put in front of me, and it's honestly pretty solid. Does it look like a Vision Pro from the front? Yes, of course.
It
I mean, it's
really
got the
doesn't
light
though.
colored fabrics, obviously. It's got the huge reflective glass piece at the front, although there is no screen showing your eyes on the
You know,
outside, so
Quest is
that's a nice
considering
difference. I
putting
actually
a
posted this on Twitter, and half the
that kind of
comments were like,
thing on
"Oh,
the
you're making
front, the
another Vision
reflective
Pro
thing.
video," because it just looks so similar. The way the removable forehead rest looks is definitely inspired.
I don't know.
And
I
there's
can notice the
also
difference.
another removable magnetic light shield that you can easily drop in the bottom to block out
I
more
mean, I can
light
see
or
parts of
keep it
it being
off from
inspired.
peripheral vision. But then the back borrows more from the now discontinued Quest Pro, I would say, with this sort of cup on the back of your head plus a dial to adjust how snug it is. I found that with this setup,
I don't like how Marquez like. I don't know. I feel like he doesn't know everything about the VR space, and so he just like describes things so weirdly. That sort of form factor still exists. We still have that. That's literally like the Elite strap for. I mean, minus the top strap. It's the same shape that they use for their like premium straps for the Quest 3 and Quest 3S. Like, he doesn't need a. It's weird to tie it to a discontinued product when a current product already exists. It's like he always talks about the Quest Pro as if it's like on the same level as the Apple Vision Pro and this upcoming headset from Google and Samsung. Like, dude, it's not even in the same thing. Like one, you can't even really compare these to a Quest just because of the price difference. But also you can compare it with like what it's capable of, and you should be comparing it to the Quest 3. Like, but he
basically
never
most of
talks
the
about that.
weight or the
Like there have been so many times that he has given Apple credit or Google credit for creating, quote unquote, creating like a feature for VR that Meta already had and that the Quest 3 could already do. Or like Meta will have had a feature like hand tracking. Hand tracking existed all the way back on the Quest 1. And Marquez, when the Quest 3 came out, he said that he he told his audience that they created hand tracking only for the Quest 3 and based it off of Apple's, which is completely in reverse. They had it since the Quest 1 years ago, and they've had it ever since, and Apple based it off of Meta. He just he gets so much wrong.
pressure now is on my brow above my eyes, unlike with the Vision Pro, it was more below my eyes because of the way it sort of sagged. So I thought I might like an over-the-head strap option too at first, but actually don't think this one's going to need it. So then this thin metallic frame at the front has all the computer guts in it. It has the Snapdragon chip. It has these fans with exhaust holes at the top like you can see. There's a single button at the top right and a volume rocker at the top left. And there's sensors and cameras all the way around facing all directions. And there's even a touchpad on the right side strap, right where this raised bar is right here. And then there's even one more thing that you might
That's
have
cool.
noticed that they copied from Vision Pro, which is the external battery pack on a cable that goes into your back pocket. But there is one pretty key difference here.
That's
So it
stupid.
connects to the headset with a
Wait.
removable battery like Apple's. It has a decently long braided cable like Apple's and relatively small first-party battery just like Apple's. But unlike the Vision Pro, this cable on the battery side is removable and it's just USB Type-C. So you can use this included battery, which has a more
That's
secure
better.
fit,
That's
obviously.
that.
But if
I
you
mean,
want to plug
that's
in a
common
bigger
sense.
battery or whatever other battery you own,
Of course,
then you
Apple
can do
wouldn't
that
do
too.
that.
Thank you. But I've actually come away from this experience not really thinking that
Yeah,
much
that means we get
about
third-party like
the actual
massive batteries
hardware,
and plug in.
because that's not actually what makes this headset so cool. It's Android XR. Think of it this way. If you are Google and Samsung and you're trying to put together the pixel of headsets and you want to give people an actual reason to buy it over a Vision Pro, for example, what do? What's your move? Hint, it's the exact same move that they use for the Pixel software. So a lot of the basics, a lot of the fundamentals are going to be the same, right? There's a home menu, which has a scrolling list of all your apps,
I
plus
like
some
that.
quickly accessible settings and recent
It's all
apps.
based off
And then
Quest,
instead
though.
of
It's
a
so
digital
inspired by
crown,
Quest.
you can always go home by hitting the top button once, or do this hand-tracked gesture to quickly get back there. And yes, there is both hand tracking and eye tracking in this headset. At no point during this demo did I use any controllers, although I do believe that it'll support controllers, might even come with some controllers in the box. Don't know that yet. But this was a very easy headset to just
Nice.
set up, put it on, and just use it. And I think also will be super easy to share. So if I just wanted to hand it to someone and they want to see what I see, they put it on. All they really have to do is hold down that one button.
You know what? I do hope that this headset is really, really good though, because I mean, I always thought about if I ever like became rich, I'd want to get like a Vision Pro because there's cool stuff I want to do on it. If this can do all that, and also it's Google and Android and stuff, so it can like do more, and it's a lot closer to Quest, then I would want to go with this one instead. Like this is what I would want to choose. So I really hope it's significantly better than Apple's.
And it'll line up the lenses to match their.
I also wonder if like both are so expensive, but this one is just better. What is Apple gonna do? I feel like it's gonna be much harder for them to keep their product like popular. You know?
eye distance, and then they're off to the races. So you're messing around using this thing. These windows have these really large handles underneath them or above
Just
them
like
to
Quest.
grab them and move them around in 3D space. You can also grab any corner to resize a window to basically any aspect ratio you want. And then since it's the Android
like Quest.
headset, it has two main things going for it. One
Oh,
is
that
the
hand
Play
tracking model
Store,
was terrible.
and two is Gemini. So first of all
I'm pretty
Play
sure
Store
it also
apps
has the exact
will work
same
on
chipset as
this
Quest.
Android XR headset. So that
Snapdragon
includes
XR2
phone
Gen 2?
apps and
I'm not
tablet
sure, though.
apps.
I'm
Matter of fact,
pretty sure.
these apps seem to respond well to me changing them to literally whatever aspect ratio and size I want. I was kind of trying to break it and it seemed fine the whole time. So the idea is that any headset that runs Android XR right out the box will have this same advantage. Tons of apps available. And then there's also spatial.
Yeah, Meta asked and keeps asking Google to let them put the Play Store on their headset. Meta wanted Horizon OS to become like these headsets where you could have access to all the same apps that any phone has. You could use everything. You could, all the mobile apps, all the whatever. And Google refused. And the Play Store is the only like official app store for Android. And Google restricted that from Meta intentionally holding them back. Like it's really shitty. And they did that because they wanted to make their headset have an advantage.
Apps specifically, which are built for headsets and are fully optimized. So YouTube, for example, they have a spatial app for it. This wasn't as eager to let me change aspect ratios, but the whole app has this more specifically multi-window experience and lets you add an immersive background at any time if you want to. similar to certain Vision Pro apps having their own built-in environments. And then also the headset always seemed to play nice with peripherals. So moving quickly between this random Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and hand controls was pretty seamless. So I love that even more. But hear me out.
Nice.
The Gemini integration was actually the most interesting part to me. And it might not even be for the reason that you're expecting, but I think it was really cool. So at any point, you can just go home and hit the Gemini button and just talk to it. Basically, it starts running an instance of Gemini Live in the background. You know, the live conversational version of Gemini that you can sort of talk back and forth with. And
I also noticed in the leaked footage of them showing this headset off for the first time, it wasn't Google. They said they would activate it by saying "Hey Gemini," but it's the same system that's on phones. So I'm wondering if they're going to update it to that, and I hope they do, because that'll make it a lot easier to not accidentally trigger it.
Carry on a full conversation with. It does that in the headset, and also Gemini is multimodal, which in the headset means that it can see everything that you're seeing. So you can ask Gemini about something that's just in front of you, and it can give you answers just like as if you'd taken a picture of it with your phone.
Yeah,
so it can translate signs or answer trivia questions,
just like on Quest.
Or just tell you about what you're looking at, etc. Can you take me to here?
Sure, that looks like Wadi Rum in Jordan.
That's cool. That's a little more.
One update I would like is for it to be able to subscribe to YouTube channels and like videos, but it doesn't seem to be able to do that yet, so you have to do it with your mouse and keyboard. Whoa. So that was cool, but Gemini can also navigate the UI for you. So it was able to move around windows, organize my windows for me, close a bunch of windows, and then it can actually move around inside of apps. I believe this would just work with spatial apps, but I was having a lot of fun messing around inside of Google Maps and just jumping around to different places just by talking to Gemini and then occasionally selecting things with a pinch. And Gemini would know how to search for things. It would know how to use a search box. It would find things in maps, switch the UI from street view to the zoomed out view. It could do all of this through voice. And that saves a ton of moving my hands through the air to the point where it was pretty significant. Hey Gemini, take me to the South Mountain Reservation.
I can do that.
Nice.
And then there's also built-in circle to search in real life.
I wanted to see this.
It was a little buggy when I was playing with it, but the idea is really cool still. So if you hold down the top right button on the headset, it plays a little animation, and then you can pinch your fingers together and just circle in real life whatever you want to search. And it pops up a window exactly the way it would on an Android phone, and Google searches that thing, and it's so sick when it works. It seems so obvious for a Google headset, but yeah, I'm glad it's actually here.
Cool.
Now, it is still Gemini, which is to say it's not perfect. It's still lacking a little bit of functionality from Google Assistant, right? And I talked about bugs, like there's an awkward bug where if you circle to search, but then your hand is in the circle, it takes a screenshot of your hand and searches that. So they got to figure out a way to instruct people to circle the right way. But this is still a massive difference versus the Vision Pro, which has no Apple Intelligence features, no AI features at all, and probably won't be getting any anytime soon, it looks like. And I just feel like using these headsets for a long period of time, I've noticed there is a good amount of fatigue from the tiny, touch targets and the pinching and just moving your arm around a lot. It's a small thing, but it's a lot more than a mouse and keyboard. There's just a lot more arm movements. And so I found that the fact that I could minimize that by just talking to the headset was surprisingly high on my list of useful features. Hey Gemini, my windows are kind of a mess. Can you organize them?
I can help with that.
Nice. I'm pretty sure Apple's
So my takeaways from my couple hours here, I could judge things like display quality and field of view, which were both fine, by the way, not remarkable. It had pretty good sharpness, much better than it looks in my screen recordings, I can tell you that. Just a notch behind Vision Pro. But also these things could all change a little bit by the time the final headset comes out. I also like the hardware design. I like that you can easily remove this light shield and keep some peripheral vision and some light coming in from the rest of the room around you.
So that means it should be cheaper, I'm hoping.
Slightly
well,
more
definitely,
like
if it's going to be
glasses,
Google's, they're probably going to try to make it cheaper.
But overall, it's almost been
Unlike
more
Apple that
fascinating to see what Google
made
is
it twice
doing
the
at a
price
software level
it
with
needed to be.
their first
Literally.
new platform, like their first new OS really in like 10 years. So I feel like I just got to test drive a concept car where they have a whole bunch of new ideas about how driving works. And if this is the Pixel 1, let's say, of Android XR headsets, then that leaves room for other higher end and lower end headsets to come out with Android XR, just like there are higher end and lower end phones. I asked, Samsung would not tell me the price of this Project Muhan headset, so it could come out at any price. It's probably a little bit more premium, but the idea, again, is it'll inspire much more development, more spatial apps, and then all of the headsets that run Android XR get better. So let's keep an eye out on the landscape of VR and
It's
XR
crazy that VR
headsets
is actually
when
like a
this comes
standard
out.
across all these
And
companies, and
now,
all of
shout
the
out to
major
Best
companies
Buy
are
for
fighting over it
sponsoring this
now.
portion of the video. Best Buy is the go-to at a Quest.com. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.
But yeah, okay. Interesting. First official look. Like literally, we had nothing official on it. That was the beginning of all of it. And I've noticed a lot of companies are doing that with Marquez. It's pretty cool. Um, yeah. If it's like significantly cheaper than the Vision Pro, dude, I might have to get one. I just, I, I don't know. It's stressful thinking about where are each of the companies' place going to be in this race. Is Meta still gonna? Because they've been leading. Meta's been leading VR for the past 10 years, over 10 years, and they are the sole reason that all these other companies, Apple, Google, Samsung, are all trying to compete now, and that VR is where it is today. Like they have led in all of it. Um, so are they just gonna like become irrelevant? Is everything else just gonna be better? Are they gonna, you know, put a bunch of effort, stay on top? Are people gonna prefer Horizon OS over Android XR? I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah. All right. So I think now I'm going to switch up some stuff and start streaming avatar creation. Yeah. All right. Just give me a moment. That's not what I meant to click. Wait, why does it do that? I don't know. My keybinds are all messed up. Actually, why? Can I fix my keybinds? Hotkeys. Uh-huh. No, I think they're just broken. Whatever. Alright, so this is going to take me a little bit. So I'm going to end stream, and then I'll start the stream up again once I have all the, because I want it to be like separated into 2 videos. Um, and so I'll do the avatar one in a bit. So see you guys then.